Anyumre ya mo ajo amo akwa ba he dia ba big agenda dwumadi so braso se yedi nkomo na yedi nkomo e dia fa LGBTQ+ a chese ma be ware ma na mema ware mema a yen yemamu nananom ebi ebu no abususem esoma hodo no ekasetia na fe kura no ene yanwono emre bia koto apaso o memra so bia be hwede age atum na America ma no nsi anamu wo memu na ede atudwa se Ghana yeje sa amra ne tumu a ebe din se amandodo na na ebedidwa America ma no so ka ho na sankomo ne ba behwesa nya bia eye ekwan bi no mpese wo fa ede ohye bi to Ghana man so se be ya sa amra no yenyi ntuma na osu se yeje sa amra ne tumu a se nipa odo ho ahye sa ade enum no ebe kwatia wo mo no mo busua na America ma no ne amahodo bi empene sa ade no so ene yebebisa sa nya bia Saudi Arabia omoje santumu ntune sa ma nware ma ne mema ne tum enso America no omudi dwapa kona kohwe nti yehwekunu ne anim ne amanamo ntuma suan ba bia ehre na ye ne anim ohare nti na ombekeka we edi akire ya na wa mo bra yi eto da bia saa so hu eso ka timu a ne ma akire okaka ebenya ntobase ebie nsem no ne ahwe ensem America fo no keka no sa nya bia no so mo ne ani dwa bie mu a ye ne di ana yeda ye na ana yebewu yebedi sa nkomo no na yahwe LGBTQ+ na kasankasa wo mo a epia eho emra no so wo masema ombeka afa maami asem no yentwa ho mra yefrem na sei ampofoje we DBS Industries for na aso yasene si ni sa nkomo yeba sisi a mayemi biensem no wo big agenda dwumadi ne so na ansa kra na yebekọ yankomodie ne so no se yitumira ne akire osie nti American ambassador a wo maimu Virginia Yi Palmer mayentie ne nsem ho de tudwa a wo kire se yenim ne yeje yesa LGBTQ+ emra no a etia no etumu a ebe ha yedwadie yene wo mo yene amahodo bi a wo mo tietia na so yentie ne nsem ne kakra.
Honest Parliament is considering a bill that would curtail the human rights of the LGBT community, their families, allies, and quite frankly, all Ghanaians. Everybody has opinions about the issue, and I respect those opinions very much, even if I disagree with them. But very few people have read the bill. I think very few people understand that the reality is that the bill undermines the basic free speech rights that Ghanaians otherwise enjoy. The goal of the bill, the drafters are not shy about advertising, is to make Ghana hostile not only to LGBT people, but to anyone who even sympathizes with them. It seeks to make illegal all discussion and all media that even mentions LGBT issues. So journalists would be arrested, landlords would be arrested, mothers and fathers could be arrested. If passed, the bill will make it harder for you not only to recruit and hire the best people from overseas, but it will marginalize educated and hardworking Ghanaians by making it clear that they are unwelcome. I have no doubt that such legislation would have a chilling effect on Ghana as an investment destination. Companies have already talked to me about American consumers being unwilling to buy things that are made in a country with such repressive legislation. It will make it harder for me to sell Ghana as an investment and trade destination. So the legislation, in addition to undermining public health and public order, would reduce Forex inflows, cut into your bottom line, and reduce your workforce options. Not something Ghana's suffering business environment needs now.
Anti Virginia Yi Palmer, aye America man na msini wo memu no kire se nyumaku akese bi afre no a mo ka kire se Ghana nim na yeje sa amra ne tumu a dwadie so beto mu bi pa afri Ghana ha ono ankasa ne man America kra so ka ho bi ene wo kire mu no se emra no eye emra ase adwempone pa na tekire wa oyonko ni obi oyesa ade ne bi obusuani ne ho nkeka ho no o se Ghana fo ani abre yanyintu sa se dodo na ankan mra no nti maame no eja de oba wo no na wo kyerɛkyerɛ ni nsɛm musa na omafo bɛka ya Ghana mampena na dan kwakufu adko di nkomo bi wo Al Jazeera mre bi se be efie numnie ntam ame yebisa no no ka se omamu de ye mpesa de no nemum se koba se eja boba ye kagum a ene pressure a no ema kura kono mokra no fo no ebia ne nam so ama akwakoji atum is bound to happen bro for no kai eyintie no kakra.
Something you said a little earlier on about freedom of expression. So I want to ask you about what is happening in your country and homosexuality, for example, which I believe is illegal and it's punishable. I mean, why is homosexuality still illegal in your country?
These the social, cultural issues, if you like. I don't believe that in Ghana so far a sufficiently strong coalition has emerged, which is having that impact on public opinion that will say, change it. Let's then have a new paradigm in Ghana.
Is that something you would get behind?
I think that it is something that is bound to happen. And when that happens...
What's going to provoke it? What's going to make it happen?
Oh, it's the activity, like elsewhere in the world. Like elsewhere in the world, the activities of individuals, of groups. I grew up in England. I went to school as a young boy in England, and I grew up at a time in England when homosexuality was banned there. It was illegal, and I lived the period when British politicians thought it was anathema even to think about changing the law, and then suddenly the activities of individuals, of groups, a certain awareness, a certain development grew and grew and grew stronger, and it forced a change in law. I believe that those are the same processes that will bring about changes in our situation. At the moment, I don't see that in Ghana there is that strong current of opinion that is saying this is something that we need to even deal with. It's not so far a matter which is on the agenda.
Enti sankomo we omampani di bemfie num ni namanfo ahyase ebisa se eno na akenya nipa bi a ye mmara kra de abrade na chi kra na omfo se da bi ye kagagum a bi a ye betwe ho ena ye gina bre esikasem mobro a ye no America man nsia na mu no odi gina so akyese ye sikasem tebia e wom siesie no se ye kogye sa mmara ne tum na ma bi wo monsa emwansa wo de boa yi firi ho a ye be mobo na wo de yenkwa homa so ye wo international diplomatic consultant yera our hub e wa homa so pani ye mo adwum akwa Adom TV so
ma cha we so
me gidi so ho ye
adum de ache ye ho ye
uyo bia wote international diplomacy ase na yaka eni enim ena piepie se sa LGBTQ+ emre ya yiguso aye ho adwuman esunsunsanso baba ni se amani bi bepopo mani e de akire yen se suban no ne yefrase ehuni na no aso a e de esunsanso ne wo e de maye.
Well, first of all, this is a bill no ache and then a passing. I don't see the reality of it and when it's coming on. You said there's a general consensus of near approval somewhere about 3-4 months ago. But so for whichever reason, I died down in my view. But then the call by the U.S. Embassy, and I said the American ambassador said, "Ebia Ghana for SRDNA will have a triple or multiple effect, not only directly from America but other parts of the world." Look, it is only a country, in my view, that is not serious and who still such threat from a third-party nation or a partner. America didn't colonize Ghana. They are our partners, international allies. Whereas American law, Ultimate law, Edema Ghana president. Yes, of course, it is true, admittedly, say you cry, you're begging tree and you're denominated this car. It is true, say, a country like Ghana, that's what they bear 5 months, part the whole world that show they pay only amount of 3 billion, which is even less than Lagos state budget. Then, of course, America will take advantage of that kind of a threat. At the end of the day, it's a sovereign nation. We have our sovereignty, which is very intact. At what point does any country say or bend the rule? If that is the case, one will say, Ubo president who play in the back, Kamala Baha, prior before that BBC interview, the president had not been able to. But if you look at presidents, respectively, like your friend is Paul Kagame, if you look at His Excellency Kaguta Museveni, all of them, they were very straight on the point that, look, this is our culture. We have our culture, we have our traditions, and then we have our government and our constitution. At no given time, that is the way I want to go. You may not even be very good at media mature said the Kagame, may you say no. However, you should be able to be straightforward and tell them on the face, look, it's not only Ghana that needs America. America needs us more. Please understand, international partners, we meet and we settle on a certain equilibrium. How does that one be said? China, because Ghana and signing and subscribe to LGBTQI Plus, and the China for near Juma. How can Russia say Ghana and subscribe to LGBTQI Plus, a Germany near Juma? How can Nicaragua say that? And how can be a country like, yes, Upenya a certain feeling like the Europeans. Which countries are we talking about? Denmark, Germany, and Holland. These are the three countries, plus your friends UK. The whole European down, only these four. Almost now you want to say they force or they try to come, but Germany would never say only Ghana because they've been our international, they've been our partners for all these years. Only developing infrastructure, technology, etc. Only one of the countries we can say Ghana stays partners now we might be with us since independence. Germany come, Holland there, on say, the laws on drugs, the laws on LGBT, but only the first country, onya same-sex marriage. Denmark, only the first country, while on the court to do that approval, whereas the first same-sex marriage in Europe, it took place in Denmark. So those countries, almost Red Cross, let me call it, we call it Red Cross, not Red Cross as in any, but almost that kind of flexibility. Holland, only legalize even your friend is saying drugs, Not no country in Europe. Legalize the red light district. Not country be in Europe or YP. Yes, Germans should only in to that kind of liberalism and pro LGBTQI plus. But there is no way Germany because Ghana yes into about weapon. All right, no, it's not possible. I'll
have say Obabuaya. Sa threats ne de obi wesi ana e real ayade a ewo ho. Se akwakoba se oman yaka yesiensi so se be ma nanum adura anwuno enough is enough. Ye be gia tomu a ripple effects no nsunsanso no ebi ne de he den na wo se ye ne agina na so a obi hu entoye so.
The minimum side. They were directly, indirectly, those countries involved, America especially. Directly, indirectly, they will be looking at Ghana, your news, who are the MP, against that bill, they only pro that bill, and those who are against. When it happens like that, they severe some of the countries, with visa issuance, to some of the stated and answer certain officials. And for that matter, certain MP. Look, internationally, it is also diplomatically not correct and is not allowed. If the foreign ministry, they have to come and stand up doing and protest when it happens like that. If it comes to the government in the loan, any American budget, of course, we're a developing partner. On my budget, our defense. On my budget, infrastructure. On my budget, health. Any other areas our mere budgeting. Or better market okay, health budget mean farmer and as a health support and support for defense, marketing and as a mean farmer view. These are the only things that one can stand to see. Okay, but here is the case. Why would you even sit in your country that has resources more than America? Not the you have to wait for them to feed you before.
All right.
See, if we are bold to look at their face and tell them, is Uganda richer than Ghana? Ghana budget is far bigger than Rwanda. How do we call it? Uganda. We are bigger than
All
Uganda.
Right. Obani, mama na was able to tell me fancy ho. Na mene Professor Lord Mensa and Twaso e sikasema family prof yamwakwaba. Megidi so ho ye. Prof say America ambassador e kan sem say multi-million companies bi kura ne nakasa aman bi ne nakasa say yɛkɔ yɛnim na yɛgye saa mmara ne tumu a they will stop doing business with Ghana na so ɔmo ne yɛ ni dwa biem yɛ bibi a ɔmo nto bi ɔmo fam sika mma biem a Ghana yɛgyina brɛ ɛne sɛn.
Oh, so sure yɛne America yɛnkuta ho a yɛdia in terms of trade no yɛ exporting normal bebree bomb to the tune of $16.7 million.
Bacho Brabian figure no.
$16.7 million.
$16.7 million per year and a month.
A year.
If you money na 16.7 million, you export to America.
Dollars, yeah.
Okay.
The bio the export more. The export more. And now they imported every of our balance to $10.4 million.
Oh, okay.
In terms of deficit, that is our trade surplus. Our trading with America over $6 million. I don't know how net inflow Ghana as a result of trading with America.
Okay.
Now, Obibisa said, with all this surplus, America cut it, deal and I said trading with us. A bit to me, after by one. To me, dear, that kind of thing is I'll be say. I was say, you give maybe too normal and support here and culture. And then an African section, we are here normal. I see, I did here for me, and you that better can say at this time, we are a weaker country in a sense that the economy may be a good. I'm saying Yamwa and I question Abibiano, the gear and someone near Costa that America for winning Europe with. They see us say we are the receiving end. And those days, I used to be happy when the president used to say, Ghana beyond aid. Ghana beyond support. On my piano, the economy and that's you become independent. But Prof, at this stage, America man can no more say a CBA nim yeka say yepem wa free IMF no mpo na ma ye nyina na so saa o mo kire nioma ye nye haircut no ne ade eti baby e gina ne be da page e ho off saa emwa yi nyina eno enkonkonya influence we decision making niema say okay e fa tradition ne ho nkeka ho a e wo se ye kuram twetwe e de ma the next generation no. Yeah, to me if we decide not to deal with America, we have alternatives. We share the volumes of trade with China and Europe. And Europe, the only America, they're almost the same. Let's deal with the East. Now, even Saudi Arabia, the volumes of trade with them, and you have the case. Now, you can the way they manage the finances here, I think that we can do without them.
It's a baby who be also be money.
There be. But you want to cry.
All right. Say the year can yera our hub ma so say ekobani say ya omutimi shada be hihye nipa bi akikura e de sika piapia wo mo say be ya say member of parliament na wo ye vociferous a bo he ne yapekwan bi afa so amo bi contest ne atu ne ho nkeka ho sa machinations ne so ho asem te say.
Oh, I know they are. We should expect that. So if you are dealing with them, at the national level, that's almost they cannot find their way through. They will call few individuals here. They think that they can support them financially.
Now just say, abain to sokra na wa abain no kra they can find a way say if you be lose election na fofra ba mboa.
I know but my main say if Ghana we stand on our grounds and we economics. Okay. But by principle, I just say that we are more kra no and yes I dey yom pese ya. I say also to be boy. All right. Prof,
mami na wase enyumre wo nimdie nkyerɛkyerɛ awde amaye. Professor Lord Mensah, Associate Professor at Department of Finance, University of Ghana Business School. Now, yene Isaac Boama enwi or convener journalist against LGBTQ+. Isaac Boko there. What say the American man nam sini eken dia na ususuye
First of all, I'm not before. I'm not say.
Ebreni so ntite why?
All right, so simply, you know, who say, Mamma na dream for bonnie, or no anga sawabo. When him say, and name be on ma, a new coin say, was so when him pass say, or mine Ghana, about LGBT say homosexuality no home company adena, a idea yenso so. But on another dream per se, or bahas will be promoted. It was yes, sir, not the Magana, it been bonnie say. Oh, LGBT, we are practice CB no home company at Ghana. Yeah, boy, you're a punko for your punko for. This woman should come out on point, something point to one case of assault against a year your friend is saying,
Isaac, me feel say across abanta numpo hu hia mo de akira hwe se emra no de ntina asa kan sinsemu a yenyi ntu mo de akire o as convener no
and kan sinsemu no one should even think say kan sinsemu because your coalition made up of MPs me other social organizations na hon kroba na ade a yehia yedin komo and yenim ba bia kwa koduro and very soon parliament atana you know omo be passing brano ama
say soon na Ghana for pese hu how soon
before answer parliament be call sorry no we are hoping say on be call on be say apejabiu na wo ma say discuss story na yahwe ni ba koduro bet
Minia mamena wase ye breni nti mamena wase fancy ye besa ja atonsa fro na ya to ankomo we so Isaac Boama ye convener Emma journalist against LGBTQ+ ye ne Yira our hub edi nkomo na ye ne ye Professor Lord Mensa so di nkomo e femina na se ampo for ye kai se DBS industry so madama ne de big agenda be di bro chna yinti madroada e be hia